Hello, and once again, welcome to my ridiculously messy workshop. In this video, I'm going to try to make my own top hat. I do have a top hat. I bought a really nice collapsible top hat at a second-hand store. The only problem with that is that it is ridiculously small, so I can't wear it. I can use it for tricks, but I can't wear it. And I would like to make a top hat kind of in a steampunk way, because I think that would fit my character quite well. And I saw some videos on YouTube that details how you make your own steampunk top hat. So I'm going to try to make one, and I already made a prototype, and right now it looks insane crazy, but it's too small, so it really doesn't work. But I'm going to show you now how I'm proceeding with this, and I'm just going to flip the camera. Okay, down here on my workbench I have some cutouts from an old sleeping mat, you use for camping. It's made of this foam-like material, and apparently that's very good for making top hats. I don't know yet, but it's pretty easy to work with. I cut out the brim, and the inside hole here has a circumference that matches my rather thick skull, so that's going to be the brim, and later I will be able to kind of mold this with a hairdryer and make some other another shape then, but it looks already quite top hatty, I think. And the tube that's going to make the top hat is this piece, and it's made in this wavy kind of line. It's also, the length of this is the circumference of my head, so it's going to fit into the brim. And the next thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to hot glue this end together. Then this is going on this end, and in the end the cutout, if it fits, otherwise I'll need to make a one that's a bit bigger, is going down on top here. So and this will be done with a hot glue gun, so it's kind of easy to work with. You can use contact cement, but it stinks, and I ran out yesterday, so I'm going to use hot glue. Okay, it is kind of coming together now. One of the videos I saw on YouTube detailed how when you put on the brim, you should start in one side, glue that, then glue the opposite side, then glue this side, glue this side. I haven't glued that yet, just to show you, and then fill in the gaps in small portions at the time until you have made the whole thing, because it's much easier than trying to make the whole thing in one. That would be impossible. So I'm going to keep on going. So how about that? Not bad for a top hat. Oh, I still need to make the the hole here, so I'm going to do that now. Yeah, this took about 20 minutes to get to this point, and just a minute. And I know there's like this big mark here, and stuff like this. But I'm going to make a lot of embellishments on it. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to put some brass rivet kind of stuff on it, and feathers, and pair of steampunk welding goggles and stuff. So this is the basic top hat, and it takes 20 minutes to build. That's quite amazing, I think. Okay, now I'm about ready to start decorating my hat, and I'm going to make some different embellishments and put on, and kind of loosely build up as I go some structure in the head that makes it look like it's with some leather straps and ornaments and stuff like that. And I make this shit up as I go, so I'm going to show a few shots of the process, but not really go that deep into it. It's kind of a gut feeling thing, I think. Okay, so in the process of making this hat, I got kind of carried away, so I forgot to document some of the steps. So I'm a bit further than in the last. Let me see. This is better, I think. But I'm going to explain what I've done. After the last clip, I cut out some pieces of thin craft foam and glued them on. I cut them out in shapes I thought would look kind of cool, and I glued them on with contact cement. It's the trick with contact cement is to apply it to both things you're going to glue together, and then let it kind of dry until it's sticky when you touch it, and then you put them together. If you put them together right away, it will never dry and it will be a mess. But if you apply it and wait a little bit and then put it together, it really sticks, and it's great to work with. And I put these all the way around here. You can see some assemblies down there. It doesn't look that good, but it's going to be covered by a strap I have with some kind of welding goggles I'm going to put on this hat. And then I painted it all black. No, that's not true. I used some, and that's another trick from a YouTube video. I used some 2-part epoxy to make these rivet-like dots with a little with a matchstick, and I just dotted them on. And then when they dried, I painted the entire thing black. And when it was dry, I took some well, it's just some kind of gold, bronze kind of acrylic paint. I think there's something called Rub and Buff. Some of the how-to videos on YouTube talks a lot about Rub and Buff, but that's not available in Denmark, apparently. So I just used some acrylic paint, dabbed it on my finger, and kind of smeared it on, and it actually looks kind of good. And it makes the rivets stand out because they get the most of it. The big rivets is just cut out pieces of foam that I glued on before I painted it black. So this is kind of neat, I think. The next part is actually putting it's still a bit sticky. Putting this old clock face onto the side of the hat, around here, I think. And then I have some. It's still drying from the Loctite glue I'm gluing it with. But the next thing, I'm going to put some details on it. I'm going to put the goggles on. They can come off because it's just a rubber band. They'll be put on with around the edge of the hat. I'm not really satisfied with how that looks because I had to kind of taper it, because when I cut it and I have this damaged part, and I'm going to kind of cover that up. I'm thinking I'm going to get some cloth, maybe lace, ribbon stuff, and try to glue that onto the edge here. In a distance, it's not really a problem, but when you get a little bit closer, it will look weird. I also bought like a pocket chain watch that looks kind of steampunk from China. It's a small one, and it's in a nice brass chain. I think I've seen some steampunk hats with that put on, and I think that looks kind of cool. So I'm going to try to put that on too. Maybe a peacock feather or something, but it's coming together quite nicely, I think. So I can put it on. See if. Well, not too shabby, I think. Okay. And here is my finished steampunk top hat. I bought these welding goggles off eBay, I think, from China. They were like $3, including postage. And I really like those. And I went scouring the local thrift shops yesterday, and I found these little glass containers, and I put some sugar balls from cake topping in here. I call them frog eyes. I put some kind of seeds. What are they? I don't remember. Witch's nails, I think that is. And then some rosemary, because it tastes good in food. Nice to keep around. Then I made this little pouch here, also from craft foam. It doesn't open, it's just for decoration. But if you really wanted to, you could put a snap button here, and you could have a little thing you could open and take stuff out of. I wasn't too happy with the way my hat was finished around the top, so I got this lace ribbon from my mother, glued it on, and put some gold rubbing paint on it. This piece I'm pretty excited about. I found this octopus necklace thing in the thrift shop, and it was, I don't know, $3 or something worth, and it looks great. I've been watching some steampunk YouTube videos, and apparently octopi, well, they're pretty popular among steampunks. Then on this side I have this old clock face, and I took it apart and glued an old clock, what is that called, clock hand, on it, along with the gear from the clock. Maybe I'll later put a gear like that in these holes, but I don't really know if it's necessary. And then there's this gold, I don't know what it's called, kind of jewelry you can put on with a safety needle on your dress. And then the other day I put this ribbon around on the edge because I didn't like the way the edge was finished. The foam, rubber foam here from the yoga mat was quite obvious. So I just glued this in with the hot glue, a little piece at a time. And then lastly I put in this peacock feather because it looks good. So it turned out really well. It looks good. I can wear it. It's a bit hot to wear. It's not like you can your skin can breathe through this foam rubber material, but in Denmark it's not that big a problem. I used it today for a show, and the kids really loved it. And halfway through the show, I took it off and hung it from my case. And then, in the end, I have a dye box routine I do, and I use the hat to vanish the dye and reappear the dye, and no problem there. It was great for that purpose. So I'm pretty happy about it. I think it turned out really well. So that's it for this project. Oh, and just one little last thing. The clock, the octopus, and this thing over here was attached using 2-component epoxy glue, 5-minute glue, and it's some toxic stuff, but when it's dry, it really doesn't come apart. So and this piece here, I just attached some foam rubber and glued it with the contact cement, and then made sure that these bottles don't come out. So I just dribbled a little bit of super glue into the little belt here in order to hold it together. So so that's it for just the last little details. Thank you.